Broadcasting live from the Newsmax studio in New York City, here is Steve Malzberg.
Is the mission to persuade her not to run?
No, it's not the mission, but she's coming out with a book called, I think it's Hard Choices or something like that. I mean, she's made a series of bad choices, and this writer that you just quoted, talking about sweeping things under the rug. I mean, Benghazi shouldn't be swept under the rug. 4 diplomats had died. Boko Haram, these people have over 200 girls in Nigeria. The Syria issue, the Russian reset. Listen,
just to be clear, because there'll be a lot of follow-up on that, are you suggesting that somehow Hillary Clinton, as Secretary of State, who got started an independent review of what happened at Benghazi, was trying to sweep Benghazi under the rug?
I love it. She got started, the independent review. Of course, she was never talked to in that independent review. Welcome back to the Steve Malzberg Show. Reince Priebus is still with us, chairman of the RNC. That was him, of course, on Meet the Press. I didn't know Hillary was so heroic in this whole Benghazi investigation.
It's like, the old fox guarding the hen house example, but these folks believe independent reviews are their own departments reviewing their own malfeasance and then expecting us to believe that it's an independent review. Look at this issue with the deputy chief of staff that comes over to investigate the IRS scandal. Okay, so the IRS is having a scandal for purposely and maliciously targeting Tea Party and conservative groups. And their idea of an independent investigation is to take the deputy chief of staff and send them over to the IRS to review what was going on. I mean, these guys are unbelievable. And so that's why I enjoy taking it to the media like that. And obviously you only have about 5 minutes, Steve, and you know how that goes. You're sitting there with, you're warding off the 21 questions through rapid fire, and you got to pick and choose your battle.
Right, absolutely. All right, I know you have to go in a few minutes here, a couple of minutes, but let me ask you, do you think, when all is said and done, do you think Hillary is going to run?
I don't know, but I think that for one thing, when people have books coming out, publishers purposely tell these folks to make sure that whatever you do, you make sure you keep all the things moving, so that if you're going to run or not going to run, just make it look like you are going to run, and you'll sell more books. I'm not sure what she's going to do, but she had such a terrible month, and these are things that aren't going to go away. Benghazi's not going to go away. Syria and those decisions aren't going to go away.
And her health, Reince, I know you got to go. Her health, the whole issue of that Karl Rove brought up.
Well, look, it's like I said on the show, there's no graceful way to bring these subjects up, and it is going to come up, and it's going to come up for the Republican nominee too, as it should. We ought to know that somebody's healthy enough to serve as president of the United States, and it doesn't matter who you are or what party you're in.
Right.
This is a subject that is going to come up, either today or a year from now, Steve, when you and I are talking, or you're talking to some other guest. These are issues that people like you and others in the media will bring up, and it's going to happen.
All right. Reince, always great to talk to you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Steve.
Take care. The
Bye-bye.
chairman of the RNC, ladies and gentlemen, Reince Priebus, here on the Steve Malzberg Show. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. And one of the Give Me Fives today, addresses Hillary. It was Karl Rove and Juan Williams going at it on Fox, and talk about the attack on Bob Dole. Bob Dole, how when Clinton ran against Bob Dole the attack in 1996, the attacks were about his age, about his health, about him being out of it, and what's good for one should be good for the other. But we're living in this society now where, you can't, supposedly you can't say it about a woman. You're attacking a woman. Think back to when Hillary ran for the U.S. Senate from New York. Carpetbagger that she was. What happened? Rick Lazio, Congressman Rick Lazio at the time, Republican candidate against Hillary, they were debating. He asked her to sign some kind of contract. I forget what the gist of it was. So he walked over to her podium and handed her something and said, "Would you sign this right now?" and agreed to blah, 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 blah. And what was the response? Oh my God, he violated the space of a woman. Now, I'm sorry. You can't have Hillary be the toughest, smartest, most brilliant woman in the world who went through Bill, went through her fall, went through her problem, went through everything she's gone through, Secretary of State, you name it, okay? And she'd be poor little woman who you can't go near. I mean, the whole thing is ridiculous. She is who she is. She's a person. She's a person. She's a public figure and a person, and at that point was running for the U.S. Senate against another public figure and person. And he shouldn't be intimidated that she's a woman. And I'll tell you what, the Republican presidential nominee for 2016 had better not be intimidated that Hillary's a woman, the way McCain and Romney were intimidated, in my opinion, that Barack Obama was black, and how the media set the parameters. If you criticize, if you go too far, if you bring that up, you're racist. Now it'll be the same exact thing, and we've seen it already. Chuck Todd, I believe it was, said that this smells a little of sexism, bringing up Hillary's health. Really? Really? So women deserve special treatment. Well, I guess. You know, Gloria Allred in the previous hour said, reminded us that women are a protected class, as are blacks and gays and others. White men, they're not protected. So maybe there are two standards here. Maybe it's fair game on white men, politically speaking, during a campaign. But you better not say anything about the woman, because then you're a sexist, and then you've crossed the line. Can't play by those rules, Republican nominee. I'm warning you now. Treat Hillary as you would treat Harry, okay? Shouldn't make a difference. On the Steve Malzberg Show, we're coming right back. Don't go away. Here we go.